Hey guys, CRT here today. In today's video is pickups from the Doncaster Gaming Market that I went to last weekend. If you haven't been to a gaming market, I highly recommend it. They do them all across the country: London, Nottingham, Birmingham. I tend to go to the Leeds one because I find it quite relaxed. It's very spacious there as well. I've been to the London one and you're like sardines in a tin. Not enjoyable, but the Doncaster one is very good, and for the price of a ticket to the underground and the train stations, just makes sense to me. It was a good weekend, really warm. Somebody actually fainted in the actual building itself, so yeah, but it was good game hunting. Managed to find plenty of titles. I just wanted to share with you guys today. If you like this video, I really appreciate a subscribe and a like. But yeah, let's get into it. So the first lot is a load of original Xbox games. I'm still trying to build up my collection and get games that I remember when I was younger or that I've seen in past. But the first one is Blood Rain on the original Xbox. This is a pretty cool third-person hack and slash. You play a vampire called Rain, who's working for a secret society that basically hunts down other how do you say it? Enemies, baddies, extraterrestrials, all sort of weirdness. Voice works pretty good. Combat can be a bit sticky, or clunky is probably a better word of doing it. But what's really cool is the when you're attacking people, you use your blades that are on your arms and you can actually dismember them, and it's quite funny that you come across some of the zombies and you can chop an arm off and he's trying to attack you still, and chop a leg off and he's still trying to attack you. It reminds me of the Black Knight from Monty Python. But yeah, pretty cool. They've done a sequel, which I haven't got, and I believe it's been remastered for the next gen consoles. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one so far, and I'm going to go back and play a bit more of this. Okay, the next one is Blood Omen 2 for the original Xbox. This is the sequel to Blood Omen, which is on the PS1. Great top-down RPG hack and slash, very much like Zelda, but much more dark and sinister. This carries on from that one as a direct sequel in the timeline, but it is actually after Soul Reaver on the PS1. Got to be honest, quite disappointed. First of all, it's now 3D. Camera's a bit janky, combat's janky. I don't even think it's the same voice actors from the original Blood Omen, which is a bit disappointing. Yeah, in comparison to Defiance, which I got a couple of months ago, that's a far better game and original voice actors. But I wanted to have it part of the collection because it's part of the series, and the lore is worth playing through, but not the game itself, which is sad. Now the next one is Destroy All Humans 2. This is a cool sort of sandbox shooting game. It's by the same people that brought us Mercenaries and then Battlefront. So they're very similar in the titles, where you're just in a big arena, completing simple missions. This stick is that you play as an alien in the 1950s/60s, and you come to Earth. So it's very tongue-in-cheek, and you've got like laser guns and powers, and you can assume identities. It looks great for an original Xbox game. It's not too hard. It's quite fun. Voice acting's pretty cool. Yeah, I'd recommend this one to anyone. Okay, last original Xbox game is called New Legends. I picked this up just because of the cover and the back of it. It looked quite interesting. It's not. It's terrible. I'm sorry to say. It's a third-person action adventure. Graphics are awful. This must be an incredibly early title, or definitely someone's first game. Combat is janky and broken. The AI is brutal. Honestly, avoid this title. Not worth buying. I can't find any redeeming qualities. I'd normally try, but no, I can't with this one. I'm sorry. This is the only 360 game I picked up, which is Eternal Sonata. This is a JRPG for the Xbox 360. I'm only about an hour into the story, but wow, it's beautiful. This is a really pretty looking game for the Xbox 360. It is a JRPG, but it's more action RPG. So you can see the baddies on the map. You move into them, and then once you're into combat, it opens up into like an arena where you move towards them, and then you attack. You basically have 5 seconds to get as many attacks in as possible. Yeah, I'm quite enjoying this one. I'm going to go back to this one. It's quite cheap as well, £9. So I recommend this one. So next one is I'm trying to build up my Dreamcast collection, and this is one that I don't own yet, which was Unreal Tournament for the original Xbox. I wasn't sure what to expect with this because I've obviously played the PC versions and the newer date versions, and I was a bit worried that the Dreamcast wouldn't do it justice, but it really does. Yes, okay, it doesn't look as good as the PC version, but it plays really smooth. It's got a generous auto aim. Again, I was worried about that because, you know, the Dreamcast controller's only got one analog stick, so it's not the best for first-person shoot-em-ups. But because it gives you that quite generous auto aim, it's quite enjoyable. It doesn't seem to have cut much content from its Big Brother PC version. Loading times are really good. Yeah, I'd recommend this. Again, this is a nice cheap game for the Dreamcast, so definitely pick that one up. Okay, next lot is some PS1 games. So the first one is G Police Weapons of Justice. This is the sequel to the original G Police. How can I describe this? So this is a helicopter-based shooting combat game, but the helicopter's actually futuristic, like hoverjets. And yeah, you're basically set up in this arena and follow the objective markers, then shoot some baddies, then do some escort missions. Graphics are okay. The only drawback that I sort of really had with it is the draw distance is pretty bad for a PS1 game. The very close view, you can see all the buildings, and then further out, as the draw distance gets further, rather than drawing the whole building and putting the graphics in, they just do a wireframe of this like a luminous green mesh, and it really just breaks the immersion for me. And because you do fly around quite quickly, these meshes just fly at you so quickly, and it can be quite just jarring to see, like, okay, where do I fly down, do I fly up? I tried it. It was okay. There were about 30 missions in it. There are other vehicles, but the draw distance really sort of did it for me, and I couldn't quite immerse myself in the game. Okay, next one is Agent Armstrong. I remember coming across this on a demo disc, as most of the titles I do when I was younger. Best way to describe this is Metal Slug, but 3D. So you can move forward and back in the plane, jump up and down. So there's a bit of platforming, but the Agent Armstrong is a 2D sprite, wherever the environment is 3D. And essentially each mission you have various objectives to complete, both primary and secondary, and then you have to get to a extraction point and rise up a flare. It's quite fun to play. I feel honest, it's gonna be tough. It's very early PlayStation toughness, so the jumping is not forgiving. The shooting can be a bit odd, but if you persevere and learn its quirks, it's actually quite an enjoyable game. It's not a cheap game, but it's not expensive. I managed to pick this up for £50, so quite pleased with that. Okay, the next one is Wild Arms, which is a JRPG for the PS1. This is one of the earlier PS1s. I think this even came out before Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, JRPG set in a Western fantasy type theme. There are 3 playable characters. I don't want to spoil the storyline because it's actually quite a good one. You can tell it's good because it spawned 4 other sequels. So I think there's another one on the PS1 and another 3 on the PS2. Yeah, it's Overworld. Looks like a SNES game, 2D sprites, beautiful artwork. And then when you go into combat, it then suddenly switches to 3D. I think I would have preferred if they kept the whole 2D all the way through, but yeah, really cool game. Going to enjoy playing through some more of this later on. Okay, and the last one, this is a bit of a nostalgia trip for me. So this is Dark Light Conflict. Now, I have owned this game before, but when I was a young teenager, my gran took me to Blockbusters, and they used to have ex-rentals where you could get games that weren't on the rental market anymore, and they were just selling them off cheaper, and this game was in there for £5, and I remember badgering my gran to buy it for me. And like a typical teenager, I was ungrateful and didn't play it originally. And then one evening I had just a real bad bout of insomnia, and I don't know what, started playing it at like 2 o'clock in the morning and absolutely loved it. It's a really cool 3D space shooter. Not much in storyline, but it makes up in its combat and its controls. Yeah, shame there's never been a sequel, so far as I'm aware. But yeah, I really enjoy playing this, and you know, hopefully I won't get to play it at 2 o'clock in the morning anymore. But yeah, Dark Light Conflict, I recommend this one if you like your space shooters. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't been to the gaming market, I recommend it. Yeah, that's it for today. Bye.